Hello everybody, this is Valencia and welcome to my channel Balloons and Business, where I show you the business of balloon and event decor. So today I'm going to show you how I made this balloon garland. This was made as a last minute call from a client, and I had the challenge of working with very limited information on how this backdrop was going to be set up. So if you want to see how I took on this challenge, just stay tuned. So the colors that I used was Sempertex Blush with Gmar Rose Gold inside, the Calisand Mirror Rose Gold, and the Calisand Mirror Gold. So I'm going to blow my balloons up. Then I'm going to round them out by putting one hand on top and releasing air from the bottom. And then I'm going to tie them together into dupes. And notice with the double stuffed balloons, I'm using the necks of the balloons that are on the inside to tie together. So for these Calisand mirror balloons, they come out coney, so I like to stretch the balloons out before blowing them up to give them that more round shape. I also suggest doing this with the double stuffed balloons too, especially those bigger 16-17 inch balloons, because it can be pretty tough blowing those up. And again, I am tying the inside necks, the necks of the balloons on the inside when it comes to the double stuff. So to make the base of my balloon garland, I'm going to start twisting my dupes together into small clusters. And I'm going to be kind of color blocking this balloon garland, so I'm going to be twisting together dupes of the same color. Now notice when I'm twisting my dupes into the cluster, I'm twisting them in there about 2 times. Okay, and that's to make sure that those dupes are in there nice and secure. Now, I originally twisted 10 dupes into this one cluster, but I ended up taking some of them out because I felt like that cluster was a bit too big. And you may find yourself doing that, and that's okay, just untwist them. So when I'm done twisting my clusters together, I'm going to take one neck from one balloon in one cluster and one neck from another balloon in another cluster, and I'm going to tie them together. And this is how I'm going to make the base of my garland, by tying the clusters together by the necks of the balloons. Now when adding my 5-inch decorators, I'm going to twist the dupes together in clusters. And each cluster has about 8 dupes of 5-inch decorators, which is 16 balloons. And I'm going to add this cluster onto the balloon garland. And I really like using this method because it makes the decorators look like a cluster of pearls, which I really think adds interest and complexity to the balloon garland. So now I have the backdrop set up, and I am going to be adding my pre-made balloon garland with a 260 balloon. I'm just going to wrap the 260 balloon around that balloon garland, tie it around there with the 2 ends out, and then I'm just going to tie those 2 ends around the pole of the backdrop stand, which happens to be PVC pipe. And I'm going to do that at several points on the balloon garland. Now I'm going to be adding my clusters with the 260 balloons. And the client is asking me to add some rose gold fringe. This is some fringe that she had. She doesn't have a lot of the fringe, so I'm going to have to try to, improvise here with that small amount of fringe. Now, when I'm adding these 5-inch decorators on there, I am cutting a 260 balloon in half, and I'm tying one on one end of the cluster and one on the other end of the cluster. And that's how I'm going to connect it to the balloon garland. I'm just going to wrap, one of those 260s around one balloon, and then another one around another balloon on the opposite end. And that is how I am adding them on there. By the way, normally I would be putting a small cluster of balloons at the opposite end on the bottom of that balloon stand to cover up those bricks over there. However, the client said that they're going to be putting a cake table in front of this backdrop. which was also new information to me. So I wanted to make sure that they had enough room to put that cake table against this backdrop stand. So that's why I left those bricks exposed. And now I'm just adding these 5-inch clusters throughout to fill in gaps and make sure all the colors are equally represented throughout the garland. So I decided to add in more of that blush double stuff color because I felt like it was a little underrepresented. So now I'm adding on the couple of packs of fringe that the client gave me, and I added some to the balloon garland to create some cohesiveness between the fringe and the balloons. And sometimes when you're doing balloon design, you just have to make do with what you have. I ask a lot of questions when clients make an order. I want to know what type of backdrop they're using and stuff like that, but sometimes they don't tell you all the information that you need to know. And you know, I thought that the client had more of a backdrop here, but she didn't, so I made do with what she gave me. I just make sure I deliver on my end with the balloons, and that's all that I can do. So as you see, I'm just adding some balloon shine onto the balloons using a towel. So here is the finished product. Being in the balloon decorating business has taught me that you have to learn how to improvise, because even when you ask all the right questions and prepare yourself as much as possible, there will always be unknowns. So all you can do is make sure you're prepared on your end and you deliver the best product that you can give. So if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, go ahead on and like it, and please subscribe, and you'll get notifications on future videos on balloon and event decor. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.